Welcome to the Middle Sisters, where we dive into the middle of everything. Our podcast is about our family, life, laughter, and sisterhood in midlife. Today is our 8th episode. We're here to introduce you to our dad, Stan. Stan, say hello.
Hello.
So, Dad, tell us a little bit about how you and Mom met.
Well, my older brother and I were living in an apartment at BYU, non-members. I think he just had joined the church. And he talked me into going to church. It was after the first semester of my freshman year. I didn't go at all. I was out on the basketball court between our King Henry apartments. It separated the boys from the girls and played basketball out there every Sunday as I watched everyone in our ward go off to church. Steve finally talked me into going one time right after the second semester started. And I'd seen most of the boys and girls around King Henry, which encompassed our ward. And we met on campus in the Fine Arts building in a classroom.
It was your Sunday school time.
It was actually church.
It was church in the buildings, in the classrooms.
It was basically our chapel, everything. So I said to Steve, my older brother, that I didn't have any dress shoes. I came to BYU with a suitcase, which did not have any dress clothes. He said, I'll loan you mine. Of course, I paid for pretty much everything he had because of the construction work I did.
Okay.
But
we have to go.
So he loaned me his shoes, and so I went to church with him. And as we're standing in the foyer getting ready for church to start, I was scanning the room, looking at the boys, looking at the girls, and I noticed this gorgeous, absolutely knocked down, gorgeous, blonde, blue-eyed girl in top-notch shape. And I nudged Steve and I said, who's that? I haven't seen that girl before. And he said, don't you know Eleanor Fuller from Maple? I said, no. He said, well, she's been in our home down in the basement dancing. And then I remembered in my junior year, sitting on a desk in our basement watching Eleanor dancing and the other boys, because they're all 2 and 3 years older than me.
So is your brother 2 years older than you?
Yes.
And then Mom is 3 years older than you?
Yes.
Okay.
So
you kind of recalled Mom in your teen
then I
years.
remembered her from my junior year because she was so striking. And so he said he was going to introduce me. And they were all friends with my older brother. I mean, they traveled back and forth to Boise once or twice. When Eleanor worked in the restaurant, they'd go over to JB's and have breakfast, and she'd wait on him early morning. So that all went on. So as we, I think either leaving church or getting ready to go in, I think it was leaving, he introduced me to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she thought I was Steve's older brother.
Oh, okay.
And so it was noisy, and he introduced me to your mom, Eleanor. And she said, who? And he yelled my name again. And so we shook hands. She walked outside, and she tells me later that she said to her friends, her roommates, that she was going to date that boy.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
you're going to marry that boy?
Let me pop in a second, because she has told us this story many times, and she sees you in the church.
Uh-huh.
And she says to herself, "Oh shoot, there he is."
It's an angel.
And she said,
Heavenly
Father, if I could have him, I'll go through anything.
And she did.
That's another t-shirt for you.
Yeah. So Mom and you.
Let me write that down.
Yeah. So you fall in love instantly once you start dating.
Well, not me, but she did. So I ran into her at the grocery store that was down at the corner from King Henry with her friend, Vicky Brockbank.
Mm-hmm.
And I had loaned Rich Larson, who lived with us in our apartment. There was 4 of us, had loaned me his cowboy boots to wear that night. And they were way too small for me, like 3 sizes too small. I about popped my toes out of the front of those cowboy boots. So I'm strutting around the store, and we run into Eleanor and Vicky.
Okay.
And so we give them a ride home, which is like a block away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I carried her bag or two groceries and act like we shot. And so then that was it. And then a month or so later, it was on a Saturday, I was cleaning my apartment. Everybody else was gone. And I was the only one of the four of us that would clean our apartment. Everybody else just threw things around. So I was doing dishes. So Eleanor, your mother, calls me. And she says, "Hi, do you remember me?" I said, "Well, what's your name?" She said, "Well, it's Eleanor." And I said, "Yes, I remember you." And she said, "What you doing?" And I said, "I'm cleaning my apartment." And there was a pause on the phone, and she said, because we only had a apartment phone, we didn't have cell phones back in, in 1965.
So she said,
"Well, can I come over and help you clean your apartment?" Well, that's the end of that story.
Well,
60 years ago.
So Mitzi and I said on an earlier episode, when you're born with a rag in your hand, what is it?
No. Oh, that's another T-shirt. Hold on.
When you're
the Petersons were born with a cloth in their hand.
Oh yeah. So when
that's
mother came over and just sterilized your apartment, OCD, cleanliness.
Not all of us have that gene.
Right. So you said sold?
I do.
But then mother said,
"Well, no,
you need
really.
to join my church in order to marry me."
No, back up a second. So that same day we were alone in the apartment. We had a little console, I guess you call it, record player that played the 33 size, which was the smaller, and then the larger, and that's all we had.
So you're playing a record.
So I put Dean Martin on, a Dean Martin record.
You started singing to her?
Yeah, I started singing Dean Martin music to her, and then we started dancing. And that went on for half hour, I guess, or so. And then I kind of reached forward to try to kiss her, and she went, "Ah!"
Oh gosh,
like that.
Okay, I'm sure that sounded like a raptor or something.
Well, she threw her head back, and I said, "What's wrong? I'm just trying to kiss you." So then we danced some more. And finally,
what about the comb Okay, after you finish that, tell the comb situation. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that. So then after I kept dancing with her, we were doing slow dances, mostly. And about 15 minutes later, I had an opportunity where I was real close to her face, and I grabbed her head like this, so she was immobile, and threw a kiss on her. Okay. I forced her into me.
Oh, you forced that one?
Yeah,
huh?
I forced a kiss on her. So that was assault. I should have been arrested.
Yeah.
So then
So she was just so beautiful that you just thought,
"Oh yeah, I was still to this day, she's beautiful."
Okay, so the comb story.
Yeah, so
because that one's funny. You never heard this?
We dated and for 18 months, and part of that we were engaged, like 8 months, I think.
Okay.
And but during that 18 months, one night we were over in her apartment, and all her roommates threw us a blanket. We were on the floor making out. So our roommates got a blanket out of the bedroom and threw it over on us. And we were rolling around on the floor making out.
Okay.
And there was this kind of squeaky noise, like a flagellation. And I started teasing your mother, saying, "What, you're just flagellating right enough?" She said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." And I said, "I can hear it. It's coming from you." She had a comb in her back pocket. And as we rolled around,
the comb was flip in your pocket.
It was a comb in my back pocket.
Yes. So our aunt and uncle said that you guys had a public display of affection all the time.
We could help it. Even at Kay and John's wedding, we were converting our farm to Hill Park Homes, and we had a big grassy area, and Mom and I plopped down on the ground. Of course, that's probably where I got it with you kids, wanting you to hold my head and scratch my head.
Yeah, all of us girls had massage your feet, scratch your head.
Make popcorn, get you a toothpick, get you a Coke.
Oh yeah.
It was just servitude all growing up.
That's the way it should be.
Right.
So mom sat down on the lawn, and she put my head in her lap, and she was stroking my hair during the wedding. or right after the wedding.
Why? During the reception?
And everybody's staring at us.
Yeah, like
we thought it was normal because we've been doing it for a year. Not me doing it.
Inappropriate.
Doing it,
didn't your parents say like stop putting your hands on each other?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Grandma did say that Mom was exactly what you wanted. Always like the blonde hair, blue-eyed bombshell movie star, like a Doris Day look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Blackhurst revealed to me after we'd been divorced for 15 years, and I called my sister Kay, my brother Bob, and my best friend that I grew up with, and we went to BYU together, Steve Blackhurst, and he revealed to me quietly, he's active in the church again. He'd been inactive, and he said, "I have to tell you something."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." He said, "I think Eleanor is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my life."
Okay, well, that's not. We're not going to tell other people's stories.
No, I'm just saying.
Now we got to go interview.
Well, yeah, and I said, "Well, I agree with you, and I've always felt that way." So that we were really attracted to each other and compatible.
So what happened when you got divorced? I remember you did cry to me going, "When is it my turn to have like you wanted a career woman or adult? Like you felt like Mom was childlike."
I guess the best answer I can give you children, Afton and Mitzi, is I wanted a balanced relationship. That I wanted it to be a normal, balanced relationship, which in her mind it was, but in my mind it wasn't.
You weren't aligned.
And I think some of it had to do with the church religion, because and we went to psychologists to try to figure this out later in life, but a lot of it is the strong belief and teachings that are real strict that that you adhere to.
Right. That's all good, but why marry her again?
Well, let's go back though, because a lot of couples have to
love. I mean, I tried the other marriage twice, and it wasn't satisfying to me. Your mother was.
So you're saying Mom was too religious. You were over here more secular. Because I know couples that with politics, one's a Republican, one's a Democrat. They cannot talk politics.
Right.
So you can't talk religion, really.
We're okay on everything except religion.
So you have peace now because you accept that she believes in it and you don't?
I don't know if God was telling me, or I could listen to it in the phone when I called her on the end of her mission in California. I felt that she had relaxed a lot and mellowed out. And I think her companion that she was with on her mission probably had a lot to do with that, because she learned, really what it was like.
Like that give and take.
Yeah. And
because Mom is like, it's my way or the highway in a way.
But she doesn't.
That religious.
But she doesn't understand that.
She just sticks to her convictions and who she is. I don't look at her like. I think she's actually very passive and easy.
My dad
she is who she is, and you gotta love her. You gotta love her for what she believes. She's allowed to believe in what she wants to believe in.
But she's also forcing him to believe.
My dad really respected your mother because of her strict beliefs, and no one was going to tell her differently. No one, and he respected that.
Yeah.
And but being on the other side of that but that's a whole different story. I don't know if you want to get into all that.
Well, it's a good story to tell, because you want to let other younger couples know, hey, you need to be aligned. If this is that important to you and it's going to bother you that much and upset you that much that she believes in a religion that you don't believe in,
right?
Then you
so don't go there, right? Don't marry the wrong person in the beginning.
Religion is
over religion,
and I'd say the same to her, because she has said, I would never marry non-LDS. Yes.
Oh yeah, she's very.
So they both have done this kind of torture to each other.
But what's that movie we're watching? Nobody Wants This.
Yeah,
where he's Jewish and a rabbi and she's not. So yes, I mean there's going to be a lot of challenges when you fall in love with someone
But
They-
we're
it's
love
not
and
aligned with
respect,
you.
right? But if you have love and respect for that other person and leave them alone with it, then you can make it work.
But the children come into it. So yes, when you're raising your children and you're
But
saying,
he liked that we were raised in it.
right.
He likes that she goes. So this is the confusion.
But
I
as
have when I
children,
have
we
this-
were
Because
confused.
I
Don't you
didn't-
think we were confused when Mom? Why is Mom just bringing us
I
to
didn't
church?
care for the evils of the world. I was born with a Bible in my hand. I was called preacher boy as a boy, and I would go to church with my grandmother when nobody else in my family would go. And I read the Bible, and I won a Bible inscribed with my name. I mean, I was like that.
Okay, so you were
Because I was
drawn
like
to the Word of God.
I was like my aunt and uncles on my Thomas side of the family, my mother's side. They were all very spiritual. Well, they all were, even on my dad's side. But I didn't like all the ugliness of life, and that really drew me back. Mom, I wanted my family to be happy and content and living good lives. I was so happy that none of them got onto drugs growing up or alcohol addictions.
But we did
Later, yes, when you're
and you
grown
did,
up.
and we all
Oh,
did
yeah.
because if you don't stick to rules, right? This
Oh,
is where we all go
we
off
all
and-
have choices at that point, and then mistakes were made.
Mm-hmm.
And those are where the regrets came in, and it cost us 15 years apart. But there was something in our subconscious existent. There was something about our love for each other and the depth of it in deep inside of us that drew us back together.
So really,
And-
love conquers all in this
Well,
story.
and sometimes you have to go through hell to really get there and understand it. You have to see hell up front to say, I don't want this in my life.
So
Mhm.
most people don't get a second chance like you
Right.
did.
That's
You and Mom
rare.
did.
But the conflict is that you want to have that spirituality, you want to have that love, but it's found within a religion that is, to me, questionable. That's where the struggle has been all these years, and the debates. I don't know if we can say we had screaming, yelling arguments ever, or wanted to throw something at each other, or well, there was one time when Mom wanted it a couple of times.
I think Mom threw
three times.
pictures, family pictures off the wall.
Yeah, and I almost
you?
got hit with the point of an iron when she's ironing. Things like that. But
Well, in her defense,
but
I'm always going
that's
to
her
defend
def-
Mom.
but-
You lied to
well,
her
of course,
incessantly, and
she
you
had-
confused her and made her mental
she
because
had
you're constantly going back and forth.
absolutely, she had the right to do those things.
Mhm.
I mean,
did
she
not
should have
right.
left you. I'm going to agree with that. She
She
shouldn't have let
should have-
herself get
she
to that
missed-
point.
She missed my temple by an inch with that iron. She should have been able to hit me. She was a real good athlete. She should have hit me square in the temple and done me in. I would have deserved that.
Yeah, we did. We always worried that Mom would do a Lorena Bobbitt on you.
Well, my son said, "Get out of there," because she loved knives. Mom always had a propensity towards knives, and my siblings knew that, and they said, "Get out of there because you're going to get a knife stuck in you."
Yeah, well, because you can't play with someone's emotions, saying I
No,
love you
that's right.
so much, but I can't live
and
with
then
you.
telling her, I got together
And-
with that lady over there when they're on a walk.
And
I mean, you constantly tortured her.
Yeah, and
emotional.
I blame myself, and I'm the one that
Emotional abuse.
I'm the one that had to deal with that guilt.
So, Dad, a lot of times people throw out the word narcissism now in today's society, like
Overused.
yeah, overused. But sometimes people have said that you had narcissistic personality. Could you define that, like in one way or another?
Well, a narcissist, basically, by definition, of all the books I've read on the subject, because you and I experienced one that was a real true narcissist
Mm-hmm.
in our lives at work. Is
Don't name names.
Is to no, of course not.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, the lady that
to
took
think first of
Oh.
all that everyone's after you. Everyone's out after you to get you. You're looking over your shoulder. Everybody's against you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first sign of a narcissist, and then they rebel by lies and making things up that are not true,
Mhm.
and 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 blame others.
And projecting, like,
Mhm.
and everyone at fault except themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
they don't
they're-
see
they're
they
perfect,
don't
right?
see themselves.
Yeah, and really that's what it is. A lot of times people are
And
not
I think we're all guilty
able
of
to
that.
see
I'm guilty.
themselves in the mirror.
Yes,
And I
to
think our whole
certain
family
degrees.
is. I really do think that you and Mom raised us to be like, we're great. You know, we're Hosaks, or we have all this
No, that's
knowledge. We have this
embarrassing.
beautiful.
No, that's embarrassing.
But no, like when you grow up into a
Andrea
home,
said that too about us.
when you grow up in a home where you're raised like, hey, you're just
her parents, everybody should know.
Well, yeah, I found that embarrassing when there was that attitude.
right. But just us carrying ourselves into a room, people always thought you were stuck up, though, Mitzi, because you just carried yourself like
Mom-
with confidence, but you really didn't inside.
Who
would
said I
say-
was stuck up?
You said that in high
Oh,
school,
okay.
in
No.
junior
Hold
high,
on,
and high
time
school.
out. Mom would say that when we walked into a room as a family, into our other family get-togethers, that there was a power there. That there was wow, look at these people, type of.
So yeah, when you grow up with that mentality, like there is something there. Maybe it's not stuck up, maybe it's not an arrogance, but it's a, like you say, it's like a confidence. Because I think I've been accused of, like, Afton really carries herself with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I don't
When I
purposely do that.
When I surprised all of you, we were almost to Salt Lake to stay at Little America, and I said, "Who wants to go to Disneyland?" And those of you that had been born, all yay, and we went. And then we went to SeaWorld, and there was hardly anybody there, and we were watching Shamu run around in the pool, and there was an older couple sitting within 3 or 4 or 5 feet of us. And they listened to this lady was the wife of this guy was listening to us very intently, and she'd look over at us to a point where it kind of got uncomfortable, and listened to her children talk back and forth to the parents, and the parents talking to the children. And when it was over and we stood up and they stood up, she looked at me and she said, "Sir, you are the most blessed man in the world."
That happened at a Chinese food restaurant too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
think it's happened a couple
after
of
the
times
third-
where
Yeah, but I
people
think a
came
lot of-
After
to
the third order of those.
what was
That
it?
happens
Ham
with a
and
lot of people.
sesame
Like I had
seeds.
that with the
Sesame
kids.
seed, pork-
you know,
yeah.
when they're
pork
sitting there
sesame
being
seed.
good
Right.
and stuff. So it's nice.
It
It's
is
a good
nice.
thing, but it's not. Compliments aren't meant to like make us think we're perfect
Have
and we don't have
egos.
to do anything else, right? You have
She
to
gets
keep
all-
trying and
she
learning
can-
and being
Right.
better.
She could see the blessings and the personalities that we had and the love we had for each other.
Well, it sure went to pot.
No, you and Mom
Nobody
raised us to like talk to you like equals too,
Yeah.
like friends.
Yeah, like friends.
Why did it go to
Wow.
pot, Mitzi?
Well, don't you think it has?
Well, I think there's a
been
disrespect.
There's a lot of contention and a lot of
So, Dad, when you had your second marriage,
Mhm.
your second wife was like, "Whoa, your children talk to you in this equal manner. This is not right. They should be talking to you like you're the patriarch, you're the father figure, and they should talk to you with more respect."
Yeah.
But like our brother would call you Stan sometimes, or Stan the man. We just
Yeah.
kind of had this more of a.
Well, do you
Mom was
think-
our sister.
Well, this is the sad reality is you can love each other but not respect each other, right? Because with Mom and Dad going through their craziness, I mean, I went to 5 different grade schools, 2 different high schools,
Where
in
were
and
they?
out.
There
You got
it
Mom
was the
that's-
economy though too, moving
Well,
from
I'm just
Idaho,
saying,
Colorado,
It's
Arizona.
not so much the moves; it's him moving in and out constantly.
Okay,
he
so
was
this
back for a little
This
bit.
was after I was married, and then the 3 youngers had a totally different.
different life
upbringing.
of Mom and Dad divorcing and
That
getting
was-
back
that was
together. He's
26
moving in, he's moving
26
out.
years.
She's going crazy. She's having more meltdowns.
Mom's
was-
crying a
That
lot.
was
I'm having to sort of like run the show.
that was
and-
26 years into our marriage.
Okay, but the point is, it's sort of like it's hard to look at your parents like, oh, okay, now listen to you guys when you guys are acting like crazy.
Well, you don't have to. That's your choice.
Right.
Well, and there is a commandment: honor thy father and thy
Find another
mother.
dad.
But also, it's a fine line.
His attitude is respect me and do everything I say now. When we're adult people, and he's still stuck in that.
Yeah. So how do we honor your parents when you don't believe
when there's
what
not
they're
a
saying?
mutual respect, right? Because you can't respect somebody who doesn't respect you. I mean, you can.
And respect is earned too through time, right?
Yeah.
And we've had to undo, like you said, those poker parties, drinking time, the things that
Chaos.
caused chaos and hurt feelings.
There was a lot of chaos in our adult lives. Yeah, I would agree that our childhood was like la la land.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a bubble and it was great. But by the time, yes, you left the house, us younger three had a totally different reality of utter chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And then it even when they got back together, it's like I feel like that's when siblings were then pitted against each other.
Right.
And,
so, Dad, you were trying to find yourself after you divorced Mom, right?
Which
a new career. Well, so you're trying to find a new career, a new marriage, and then wanting to come back to Mom again, and then said, okay, no, I can't live with you. And so the three younger sisters were apartment, a home, apartment,
mm-hmm.
a home, apartment.
Mitzi just graduated from high school, and we had Debbie and Jill in high school. And when Mom moved to Salt Lake, I remodeled the house over here, added a real nice big couple of bedrooms and a bathroom, and they lived there. And they went through a couple of years of high school in my new life. And then they married.
And they chose not to go live with Mom in Utah because they wanted to be close to siblings.
I think Debbie...
they want to stay in Arizona where the rest of their siblings were.
Debbie did a real good job in picking her mate. Mm-hmm. And despite the fact they've been through a lot, they're celebrating, 25, 30 years now?
They've got a nice life.
Well, let's see. It's just, it's going to be 25 this December.
Yeah.
So we did 6 months after
Jill
Jeff and I.
She went through 3 relationships real quick.
Well, we're not going to let Jill talk for herself, but
that's fine. I mean, I'm talking about myself too. We go through these things. Mom says it for our own experience, from a religious standpoint.
So Mom has a lot of Eleanorisms, what we call them. So what are some of the Eleanorisms Mom had said to you, repeat sayings to you all the time that you've heard to death?
Well, one of them we said before, don't you want me forever? Don't you know the angels are writing everything down you say?
What is it you'd say that upset her?
Everything.
It sounds like she would say an Eleanorism to correct you.
Oh, yeah, no swearing, not even the simplest of swearing.
Well, Mom was a stay-at-home mom. She didn't really have to work, so she would say...
she worked when
sure when we're talking about the human body, it's all medically oriented. So, in other words, flagellation.
Instead of farting.
Okay, but when mom's saying don't say that, she's laughing. I mean, you're making her sound like she's this evil tyrant person.
No, she's serious. She was serious.
I hear her. I'm sitting here.
So
I hear her.
She would say,
just go, "Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't." That's
I think
Mom was private. She wants to
she's
be
a
more
very private person.
Beliefs, she was very intense with anything in the home that was said that would be in a negative way.
Yeah, or offensive. Yeah, she didn't want to talk about a whole lot of stuff.
Everything. She wanted everything to be sweet.
Yeah,
and perfect.
Yeah. Well, she's a sweet.
She's a sweet woman. Well, she's an angel. Basically, she's an angel living here on earth. She was not given any really serious negative, evil side to her. She's always been an angel.
She doesn't have it.
She doesn't have.
She really doesn't have a mean bone in her body.
The word is temptation. She has never had. Well, maybe once with a
you.
missionary.
You're the temptation.
And me, of course. but she has never really been tempted.
Right.
And for example, she tasted one little teaspoon of Coca-Cola, and that nasty, and spit it out. And I think she mixed some red wine or something in a
Champagne.
teaspoon.
Someone-
Her and a friend had dipped
Yeah.
a little piece of cake in a little
And-
teaspoon of champagne back
Yeah.
in like whatever
Yeah,
high
it
school.
was
The
some
40s,
Hawaii or
50s.
something.
And it
Yeah.
made her throw up.
Yeah.
So she was
Or
like, "Oh,
she-
never
or she
tried
spit it out.
alcohol ever again."
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, it's hard to live with that because there's absolutely
It's hard to live with an angel.
Yeah. It is.
The devil on one side, the angel on the
I'm
other.
being serious. It really is hard to live with an angel.
Oh, I think most people would love it.
You've got
I don't know. If
you've
you were,
got
like,
someone
Drawn to the worldly side of life, then it
you've
would
got
be
someone
torturous.
that's
Right.
got zero temptations. And interestingly enough, before she met me, she dated 84 boys. And some of them were wild. I knew some of them. They were wild
Doesn't
boys.
mean she was bad.
No,
She just went on a
But
date,
it was strange.
making her sound bad.
No, I'm not. It was strange because it was not her. And it wasn't really her
Just one
to
date.
go after me and marry me either.
I know.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know whether
she
it was
wanted a challenge in
she
life.
wanted a challenge.
Yeah.
She wanted the James
Well,
Dean.
Yeah, Mom is truly a missionary by definition.
Yes, I
Truly
would.
a
Yes,
missionary.
I would agree. And you're her mission.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Well, growing up, she
Well,
had
even
scriptures
you-
all over
Even
the
your children,
cabinets.
I get
Yeah.
blamed. I get blamed even into your adult life for your weaknesses. But I'll listen to Mom as I'm walking through the house, talking to you children, and sometimes for hours. And
yes,
That's you,
I talked to her
Mitzi.
for
you can
hours.
hear it on the other
I
end of the
do.
phone, loud and I'm agreeing with her, and she's just as calm and sweet as can be, as she talks to her daughters.
Because she's an angel.
Just because she's an angel.
She tries to calm everyone down.
It's
Like, it's
just
not that
full-
bad. It's not
Yeah,
that bad.
she's just full of
Yeah.
love, and no matter
That's why I
what
protect
the
her.
situation, she's like that. She is with all of you children. It's amazing, just amazing. So anyway,
Well, Dad, we had a good childhood. Like Mitzi said,
Yeah, I think
You know, those
it's
years of going
really
to
good.
the courthouse, Western Reserve
Oh,
Club. We would go play racquetball, tennis,
Going out to eat a
swim.
lot.
Every
We had
day.
fun. Life was a party
Yeah.
for a long time there.
Yeah, eating out,
skiing.
skiing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and going to the lake. So thank you for providing those
Yeah, in fact,
childhood memories.
was it you or Wendy that we were taking to Rexburg for school? And we decided to go because you can go north and
Redfish
go to
Lake?
Utah. Yeah, well,
That was
first,
me.
First,
Oh, right.
Wendy was
one
with us,
time
though.
we stopped at Lake Powell, and we stayed at the resort there, and we rented a boat.
Okay, that was when we took Wendy to college.
Yeah,
Yes,
we rented a
Redfish
boat
Lake
with
was
skis.
taking
I don't
me
know
to
if you
college.
Yeah, she was
remember that.
pregnant. Yeah, she was pregnant with Christine, I believe.
When we went to
I'm like
Redfish
junior,
Lake,
huh?
yes.
Was she?
Mhm.
No. Okay.
So I'm a freshman.
But there were
Yeah.
several times that
Yeah.
we drove you and your older sister Wendy to
Mhm.
school, and then had a vacation with it.
Well,
Going
you and
through-
Mom
going through
were
Yeah.
adventurous people.
Uncle
We
Bob
went-
and Aunt Tina.
after
and
Lake
it was
Powell.
fun.
We went through the Zions National Park, and
Yeah.
we stayed in nice motels. We had an account at Little American. It was new.
Yeah.
And there was a swimming pool outside, but there's also a swimming pool up on the top floor of the inside.
Yes, the indoor
And
outdoor.
we
pool.
would just, and it was
And the tower.
It was a beautiful resort,
Mhm.
and we would just turn your kids loose.
Yeah.
You go eat food in the restaurant or go swimming or
Just charge it to the room.
yeah.
We would get in trouble later. Go, kids,
That
go
was
do whatever you
expensive.
want, and then
And
it was
then-
reprimand later.
and
We were
then-
like, wait,
what?
what? The $30
And then
hamburger and fries.
Then I built you 3 beautiful homes. The first one was brand new.
Mhm.
A guy named Vincent built it for us, and it was 1,250 square feet. Cost $22,000.
Nice.
That was 1972, and then we outgrew that. You were born there.
I was born.
You,
Jill and Debbie are born in Ginger Creek. And Aaron.
you were Shamrock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
then
Shamrock
we
was
moved.
your first house you built?
No, it was
Bloom Street.
Bloom
Oh,
Street.
Bloom Street. Okay.
And then
Shamrock.
then I bought an acre and built the Shamrock House, and I had to fire the builder when it was half done, and I finished it.
Okay.
And then that was a 4-bedroom home, and then we were outgrowing that, and I originally had my claims business office in there, so it was taking up a bedroom, so it's kind of crowded. So I went over to Ginger Creek, which was close by, and it was a beautiful 1-acre subdivision. Each lot was 1 acre. And they were really upscale homes, and I bought a very expensive lot in there, and I built. Dave Watkins had gone to Bob Malachy, my architect, too.
Okay, well, tell us the square footage of that house.
Oh, it was close to 4,000. It had a balcony. It had our bedroom was downstairs, a large master bedroom and large bathroom area, and then the family room, and then the dining room nook, the kitchen, and then I had a den in there that I used for an office, and then a beautiful living room.
Right, and then there are 4 bedrooms upstairs with a loft.
4 bedrooms,
each pretty much,
and the loft inside with a balcony, and a beautiful stairway that had a landing that went down, and it was all.
So that's your creative side.
Huge lot with the
full acre.
garden.
I had a
huge
driveway.
sandbox.
I had a driveway back there that I could park equipment in, and a shed that I built, and then I built your treehouse.
Yeah,
the treehouse matched the house
on stilts. Yeah,
yeah. And then I researched and found school playground equipment, and bought you what do you call the one that you get? Teeter-totter. Yeah, and then I built the
seesaw.
So, Dad, I do notice in your life, like you do like the finer things in life. So the higher you climb, and you get all these beautiful.
The harder you fall.
Yeah, the harder you fall.
That was hard.
The higher you climb, the harder you fall. Because you've had your custom home here in Mesa, and then you had divorces that unfortunately took your
when we moved
investments.
We lived in 2 nice houses in Colorado Springs that we rented.
Yeah.
And then Mom and I came down here with an investment opportunity and fell in love with this area. We saw our first palm trees, and the weather. It was February. It was fabulous, and we said we're moving here. So I made arrangements with my partner in Colorado Springs to give him more interest in the business, and I said I'll still run it from Mesa, Arizona. So I flew back and forth 100 times. I had upgrades first class with everybody. And so we came here and we built a beautiful 6-home project. I built you the most beautiful Hope Street house.
So at this time you had how many assisted living facilities?
Let's see.
4 in Colorado
Springs, 5 in Pueblo, 9, and 6 here, 15.
Okay.
New construction that I was managing. And then we built this beautiful Hope Street house, and I thought it was going to be forever. But the partner I had here decided that wasn't going to happen.
So
we had to move then to the Roca house, and then I got real sick. The perfect storm happened to our marriage then.
You got pneumonia, didn't you?
Yes, I was in the hospital for 16 days. I almost died. They were doing everything to keep me alive, and then I was home for 3 or 4 weeks with oxygen. I had this tank in my bedroom, and I had these long hoses that would go all the way through the house. And I'd roll them up like in a rope.
I remember that.
So we were just going to school, though, getting through school.
I remember.
Dad was sick, and Grandma came to stay.
I took the oxygen off one day toward the end of the need for it. Mom and I walked over to Mountain View, just a block away, with a basketball, and there's an outside course there. And I tried to shoot it from the foul line, and I could only get the ball halfway there.
Oh.
I was skinny and lost a lot of weight. I was so weak I could just.
Do you think you had valley fever too, or just pneumonia?
It was just pneumonia. I was telling Mom last night. I remember they put these tubes down my nose on each side into each lung, and had flappers on it, like things swirling around. They turned that on, and it flipped all over inside of my lungs. And they wouldn't knock me out all the way because they wanted me to breathe. Because my
cough it up.
Yeah, so the sputum was green, and I was flowing. I mean, they had me on tilt beds that they'd lay me on my stomach and they'd beat on my back. But I survived. I don't know how, but they said it was a lot of it. I was 45 years old in very good shape. We were at the courthouse all the time. I played basketball and racquetball over there.
Well,
Is
that was
that what made you like after that? That's when you moved out. Is that
Yeah,
sort
they
of like
said
that's
that
when the
they
start?
said that was because of stress, and it happened right after we lost the Hope Street house. I worked
Yeah,
a
because
year
I don't remember
building.
you being at Roca for very long. Because after you
I
went to
did
college
not.
and then you were
I hated
pretty much out.
Roca, and so then my
But that was a
life-
miracle in your life too. You called mom to call the missionaries or someone to give you a blessing. So
Well, and my partner, even though he ripped that house out from under us, I was laying in the hospital. I was just telling this to mom last night. I was whispering to him, "I've done some bad things, Dale. I've done some bad things, and I have."
You were seeing Terry at the time?
No, that was
no,
Yeah, when you were in Roca. Because I thought it was on Hope Street.
well just before that. It was some person I don't remember.
Oh,
But
okay.
but I said I've done some bad things. He said, "Well, let's don't talk about that now. Let's wait until you get well,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll have a discussion." I said, "I'm so sorry. I was."
So you're kind of on
begging
your
him for
deathbed
forgiveness.
repentance.
Yeah, and
deathbed
he
repentance.
gave me a blessing 2 or 3 times. And my mother was there the entire time. She was on the phone with her brothers that were doctors, on her niece, on the phone with her niece who was a doctor trying to save me.
Yeah.
And so what happened, and one of my employees in my office, Judy, said I had a lot of memory loss when I came back to work a month later. She said, "You don't remember this," or don't, and I had lost a lot of my memories of childhood of raising kids. So
you need time to recover from that.
So and I never did until I sat down with mom in these last years and looked at albums and pictures.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, my brain was at 50% oxygen.
Wow.
During the time I had pneumonia. That's why they had to put that stuff in there and hit all my lung sacs to get the gook out of them.
So you have 9 lives, Dad, because you've been in the hospital several times with pancreatitis from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, and so I was telling Mom last night in bed that I really had a lot of struggles that I really haven't really opened up and revealed that were just devastating to me. To me, they were.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they wouldn't be to someone else, but they were to me.
Well, the goal of life is to have peace. So if you need to keep talking those things out, and getting that peace,
and fear was a lot of the times when I didn't have any money. I had to leave Ginger Creek because the economy tanked. The interest rates went to 20%.
Well, good thing you had a family that helped. Right.
Yeah, your parents helped you. Your parents
were
there to support you.
Helped and
well, no, I
and
think,
then you always had partners in the church that helped.
I had
businesses.
partners that made a lot of money from investing in me. There was no one that ever lost anything, and my parents loaned me $30,000 once to buy the farm in Idaho, the 10-acre farm. That was a down payment, and my accountant in my office and I had that paid off in 90 days. We just instantly had that opportunity to buy it. And
so, Dad, we have just a few minutes.
We paid them 10% interest on those things, but they invested with 4 houses that they would buy here in the winter to be able to stay here in the winter. And then I would buy them from them, and then I would convert them. I would put about $30,000 of my own money into each one to make them
assisted
homes.
Living,
and then they were my partners, and so they ended up clearing like $125,000 over a 3-year period of time.
So you had some good business opportunities.
Many of them, but then there was some tragedies that occurred that just ripped me apart. That financially. That I just couldn't do anything about. And,
so going through all of that with your life, and you're almost 80 years old, what is a nugget of wisdom you would leave with our listeners? Because we just have a few minutes left.
Okay. be kind, be forgiving, try to really get to know yourself, understand yourself. So if you can't find yourself and understand yourself, you can't help others. You can't begin to be able to do that. Um, my health has really been bad for quite a few years. Terrible back pain that required 5 discs to be fused, both knees gone. A lot from sports, and I worked real hard as a child on a farm, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself. My body gave up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my knees replaced. I had to go through some real serious traumas, but I think what I would want to say is that we should never give up, and we should try everything we can to keep our lives together, to keep our families together. If we do make mistakes and we have opportunities to repair things, we should take those opportunities. We should take that risk to try to find happiness in life and find the good in life.
And never give up on your family
Never give up.
relationships.
You never
Even
give
though
up.
there's difficult sometimes, right? There's contention, friction, but you still keep forgiving and loving your kids and
giving.
giving.
We don't really have a lot today, but we have helped our children in their times of need as much as we possibly could.
I love that scripture in Matthew chapter 7. What man is there of you? If a son asks bread, will he give a stone? If he asks for a fish, give a serpent? So you have given what you could. And I think that's a good lesson for all of us.
Yeah, give what you can.
If you have, give.
Without expecting anything in return.
Right.
Right.
I think at times that's been misinterpreted with my children. Mom and I had that conversation recently, and I said, well, if you sat down with family at a Christmas party and everybody brings a gift to give, and you don't get anything back, that hurts. And it's not that you expect something back. You expect an acknowledgement of what you have given and a thankfulness for what you have given.
Well, I think as a
much as
child you
possible.
would feel hurt, but as an adult, if my kids never gave me a gift, it wouldn't bother me at all.
It's the showing of gratefulness to get back something. It could be a hug. It could be like, I love you.
So you want acknowledgement.
Well, I think we all need that in life. Why would we keep giving if they just expect it, or they just laugh at you behind your back? That's
what happened to Christ. If we're going to be with Christ and be like Christ, then we do need to. I mean, look at him. He loved when everybody was nailing him to the cross and mocking him.
He said as he was dying, God, why hast thou forsaken me? Which is the point I'm trying to make about giving. He gave, he bled from every pore. He died for all the sins of man, women, forever.
Right.
And to acknowledge that is very important to accept it.
He didn't ask anything of any of the people.
But he dealt with that pain of giving of himself. And then he said to his Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Has left me behind to suffer this. The terrible.
I think we've all.
And then he gave up the ghost, though.
Right. I think
the final is the relief.
Have been in those situations, right, where we are asking God, "Why are you forsaking me?"
Yeah,
finally,
because
and then relief comes
because I love your mother as much as anyone could. And she's begged me for many, many years, read the Book of Mormon. And I have read it. I read it several times when I was in college. It was required of us in classes. We had to take religious classes. When I was no longer in the church as a 30-year-old, there was a 4-year period of time that I was a scoutmaster, and then you and I were baptized together.
Mhm.
And I read it several times then, and all of David O. McKay's and Spencer W. Kimball's writings. And
So if you just look at it like another testament of Jesus Christ.
In order to do that, we were in the Ginger Creek house. I gave your grandmother Irma our brand new console TV. I got rid of a TV in our home, and I studied for 4 years, and then I was rebaptized with you because I was really wanting to keep it together.
Right.
And then there was another 5 years, at 35 years old or so, struggling again financially. A lot of this is fear that drives you to do drinking or do things you shouldn't do.
Mhm.
Is fear. It's not an excuse. It's what we humans all experience. And so I'll make this short, but I thought that here recently, I love these kids. I've always loved these kids. You know, the priest kids that I took,
You're a scoutmaster over, yes.
And 4 years as scoutmaster. I love these kids. We had 4 boys out here, and I got to know every one of them by first name. I didn't get the sister's first name, but I knew all their first names. Yeah, and I love talking to them. I love knowing their history and so forth. But my point is that it's been 30 years or more that I've read anything in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mom's pleaded with me to read it. And I'm using Mitzi taught me how to use the audio, which is really cool. And I sat there last night and listened to the First Nephi on all 22 chapters.
Well, that's good. You're reading scriptures.
I turned the football game down. That
So
was going on.
there is a scripture or a saying: "If ye are prepared, ye shall have no fear." Mm-hmm. So I think what we could close with is, if you're prepared spiritually, like emotionally, physically, if you're going to get an illness, you survive it because you're physically prepared to fight it.
So I'm reading it again and listen to the missionaries. I canceled tomorrow, but I'm listening to their responses, and I'm asking Mom questions as we go along, because I've always been interested in religion, and it's been a long time since I really studied this one, and so I like the discussions that I've had with missionaries, with Mom, and
I think the point is never stop learning, right? Never stop searching for answers.
Well, that's right.
And no matter how old you are, or maybe you think you know the scriptures up and down.
Yeah.
And you already
have
know.
To let it really come inside. And it's a very personal, alone.
Well, we've learned that if you don't keep nurturing something, you're going to lose it. It's like the piano. If you don't keep practicing, you're going to lose it. So you got to keep practicing your knowledge,
because
studying.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but part of it is because of Mitzi, because she's going through a difficult time right now, and she's investigating it. And I therefore said, okay, I want to do this investigation with her.
Well, I thought it's not really investigating. I feel like I've come back to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just
and it's
building upon my testimony.
And it's influenced me.
It's a journey for both of you.
You actually are against it still. So that's why there's no point in having missionaries over.
It's okay to question, just search.
You're not going to listen, and you're going to be hardened to it.
Just keep searching.
And argue it. Because that's what you want to do. You want to argue it. Well, that's the whole point.
And debate it maybe is better.
Your journey is to debate, and question and search.
For how many years?
I know. All right. Well, we're going to close this podcast episode. Thanks for hanging out with us,
any
Dad,
last words?
In the middle of everything.
No, just be kind to each other, and love each other.
And never give up, right?
Yep.
And accept each other, and accept our differences, and
have peace. Peace in it.
Peace.
And have peace. Yeah. Everyone find peace.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out in the middle of everything with us, where we can stir the pot from both sides. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Same time, same day.
Unless we forget. Bye.
Bye.